even if there's like some gachar-pachar happening, I'll go and find that one nice thing over there.
It was just so beautiful to be in that era, wake up like that and kind of, dress up like that. So touch wood, I think, and each one of us, I think, would resonate with it.
Yeah.
When we started, it was more into director's call. When director is of course producer has an important role also, but the director's perspective is the most important.
I remember being as an assistant director, working with Sanjay Bansali, walking on set and seeing the lights and this camera and these trolleys and that kind of stuff. That whole world is so, you kind of like just takes you by storm in a sense.
Hi, this is Sana Farzeen and I welcome you guys to IndianExpress.com, and we have with us the team of Jubilee.
Woohoo! Whoa! Ladies and
Super
gentlemen.
excited. So this team is going to take us back into the 90s, 40s and the golden age of cinema. But right now we'll discuss about the making of the show. Vikram, I'll start with you. Like how, why, what made you create Jubilee?
I think just years and years and years of being a fan of the movies, of being just in love with as a filmmaker. I think there's a much deeper relationship you tend to have with the movies, and I think I remember being as an assistant director, working with Sanjay Bansali, walking on set and seeing the lights and this camera and these trolleys and that kind of stuff. That whole world is so you kind of like just takes you by storm in a sense. So it's been, I want to always make something about the movies from way back then. Now, in between, it's about finding the right story. And I think Jubilee just happened by itself. I think, as I've said before, alcohol makes you do things. So, while sitting, discussing, sort of talking about what it would be like to make a series about, the golden age of the movies and, all those characters and those people and those pioneers. And I think that idea just took a life of its own. It just became a rolling stone, and then after that, here we are. We just went with it.
May you drink every day.
I was just about to say that after watching this interview, people will drink just to get good idea.
उनके यहाँ सब बच्चे, बीवी, गर्लफ्रेंड सब डांट रहे, क्या कर रहे हो? काम कर रहा हूँ। विक्रम सर ने बोला नहीं देखा तुमने जुबली के प्रमोशंस ही देखे क्या? कैसे बताया विक्रम सर ने फिल्में कैसे बनती है?
I know. If I drink, I will become Vikramaditya Motwani.
This could be a tagline for a new alcohol brand.
क्या आइडिया दिया है?
See, this is the rolling stone. That's actually
Apart, as we were discussing, like when you got the script, did this feel like it's so surreal because you, of course, must have gone through your own journey where people did not have trusted you, that you could act. Tell us about that experience.
See, that's वो हर एक एक्टर को कहीं ना कहीं लगता है कि मैं ये करना चाहता हूँ, करने को नहीं मिल रहा है. वो किसी भी एक्टर जो इस शहर में आया उसको लगेगा. The only good thing I take from it is that I never got bitter. I mean, I think that's where normally the journey ends. जब आप bitter हो जाते हैं तो अच्छी चीज़ वैसे ही होना बंद हो जाती है. So I was only taking one step at a time, and I was really happy with what I was doing back in the day as well. But this is of course a cherry on the cake, and of course as an actor आपको लगता है कि ये world enter करने को मिल रहा है. आपको 1.5 साल के लिए एक ऐसे era में घुसने को मिल रहा है जो आपने शायद पहले सिर्फ पिक्चरों में और तस्वीरों में ही देखा था आपने, या फिल्मों में देखा था शायद. अभी एक इंटरव्यू पहले किसी ने पूछा कि उसकी अच्छी चीज़ें क्या हैं या बुरी चीज़ें क्या है, कुछ फ़ोन की बात उठी. मैं कह रहा हूँ कि हम तो 1.5 साल जी कर आए हैं वो युग. So I think it was just so beautiful to be in that era, wake up like that and kind of dress up like that. So touch wood, I think, and each one of us, I think, would resonate with it.
Yeah. But Dada, you tell me, of course, you've grown up in the world of cinema. Tell me, what role does a producer actually plays in making an actor a star, and has that been your journey too somewhere?
Producer or a director? No, of course, it's a director first, for me at least. But if I talk about the time which we had done in Jubilee, then producer, there used to be a time when producer used to read a novel and call the right director. Then the producer and the director used to cast. So I'm talking about those theatre time, NT1, and we had this lot of theatre studios, honestly speaking. So I think that was a different role. But when we started, it was more into director's corner. Director is of course, producer has an important role also, but the director's perspective is the most important.
Siddhant, you tell me about your journey. Like, there's this entire graph from that fun guy, then going through such an emotional pain. Tell me, how did you bring those emotions to play Jay Khanna?
I've just been like a child playing, to be honest, and I've held this character very close to me ever since I first read the script. So the thing is, I knew कि दोनों में बहुत फ़र्क है. जय खन्ना में बहुत एनर्जी है और पर दोनों का ना वो बच्चा alive है, दोनों के अंदर का that child is alive. So I think the child in me found the child in him, and that's the play that you see. और मैं उसे छोड़ नहीं पाया for some reason, because इससे interesting मेरी life का कोई दौर रहा ही नहीं है. इससे इंटरेस्टिंग कैरेक्टर मैंने पढ़ा भी नहीं है, टू बी ऑनेस्ट देखा भी नहीं है. इट इज जय खन्ना इज दैट फॉर मी. सो आई थिंक व्हेन यू होल्ड दैट वर्ल्ड, इट्स लाइक कैसे सबका एक इनर डायलॉग होता है. एट ऑल टाइम्स मेरा जय खन्ना के साथ बन गया था. सो जब हम शूट नहीं भी कर रहे होते थे, सो मैं चाहे अपने दोस्तों के साथ हूँ या फैमिली के साथ हूँ, किसी के साथ भी कोई भी इंटरेक्शन भी हो रही थी ना, आंसर वैसे ही निकल रहा था जैसे मैं हूँ, पर अंदर ना एक जय खन्ना की आवाज़ भी आंसर दिए जा रही थी. ऐसे बोल, ऐसे ऐसे, यू नो. सो इट्स वो एक गेम जैसा चल रहा था कुछ.
Aditi, you tell me, your character, we see her decisions are based on love. Like, are you also as a person, do you take decision based on love, based on your relationships?
100%. Look at me. Is there a doubt?
Wow.
I'm a real duffer. 100%. Like, for me, everything is love. And I'll always, like, even if there's like some gachar-pachar happening, I'll go and find that one nice thing over there. But Sumitra is very different. I also feel like, you know, in characters that are so kind of, I don't want to call them, how do I say, they're kind of prickly. You know, Sumitra, I mean, yeah, there's so much, it comes out of a vulnerability, you know, where you're so like guarded, and so you need to be a particular way, and you're you know, you're this power, you know, this powerful actress in a man's world, etc., etc. But actually what you're basically doing is hiding vulnerability and longing for love. And also, and I really truly believe that even in real life, is that the most, you know, to be a child is to be the most open, fearless and vulnerable. And I think that if you can do that, and if you're lucky enough to be able to do that, you're really blessed.
Right.
And for Sumitra Kumari, she probably longed for that, you know, and which is why she possibly was willing to give up everything to be with this man who had nothing and who wanted to live this complicated life or whatever of an artist. And she was this star, but she could give up the world for him. And I think that comes from being, sorry, I'm not supposed to say this. Yes, in art. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, I find that so blessed to be able to do that, and to be able to be like childish enough. We use childish as a bad this thing, but I think it's the best way to be a child.
Child is
Apart, tell me, when you were seeing the journey, his journey, were you also just experiencing that feat, that success? How did it feel? And also, I want to mention that scene where Sumitra Devi says कि मैं इसके साथ काम नहीं करने वाली. Have you ever personally faced something like that where people may have rejected you?
Of course, that keeps on happening, especially in the start of the career. अभी भी होता रहता है और आगे भी होता रहेगा.
Listen, sorry, Sumitra Kumari was really mean to you.
So yeah,
So
I mean,
horrible.
rather in a good way, it should only motivate you.
Yeah.
That okay, I mean, maybe it's not. They're not saying that you're a bad actor. Maybe you need to work harder on your, you know, craft or something else, or maybe the timing is not right. It's fine. It doesn't really kind of. I mean, we all wanted to do such a series 5 years back as well.
Absolutely.
लेकिन अब हम पांचों अब जाकर हमें ये मिला है. We should only have gratitude in our heart.
Yeah.
I think each and every day on set सिर्फ इसी कि इस स्टांस से मैं जाता था एंड आई थिंक वी ऑल फेड ऑफ ईच अदर्स एनर्जी स्पेशली इन द वर्कशॉप्स एंड वी अतुल सर का नाम उठा था, क्या कमाल के डायलॉग्स हैं, वो सब करने को अब मिल रहा है तो उसको एंजॉय करना ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. वन पर्सन हु इज मिसिंग हियर इज श्वेता बासु प्रसाद.
Yeah.
आई थिंक she's one of the finest actors, you know, in the
Oh,
series.
yeah,
I'm a fan of all of them. I'm a fan of all of them.
Amazing.
मुझे अपना खुद का काम भी अच्छा लगता है. But I think Shweta is somebody. If I'm able to achieve, सर ने अभी तो एक इससे पहले वाले इंटरव्यू में किसी ने पूछा था वन टेक आर्टिस्ट कौन है. सर ने सर का नाम लिया था. विक्रम सर ने प्रसन्नजीत सर का नाम लिया था. मेरे दिमाग में चल रहा था कि सर के साथ एक और वन टेक आर्टिस्ट था हमारे सेट पे. That's Shweta Basu Prasad. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Wonderful.
Sir. Absolutely. She's absolutely beautiful. So yeah, it was about feeding each of each other's energy and वो आकर इतना मजा आ रहा था करने में, तो इस बात से बुरा कैसे लग सकता है कि काम अब करने को मिल रहा है.
And Dada, you tell me, when of course we all expected you to do more of Bollywood, or maybe we just wanted you to do more films. Tell me, has the stereotype changed when it comes to actors coming from a specific region and now they are cast in more not centric to their region?
No, I think it's been like all regional actors. They have been always. It's not that they have come to Bombay and they have started doing a lot of work here.
Yeah.
I've done it, and when I last time when I did for Shanghai, it was okay. But now you see opportunities are more. Like okay, suddenly because of this new platform, OTT platform especially, now there are a lot of talents. Not only actors, I'm saying a lot of talents. It's like technicians, everybody. They're getting a lot of exposure, and people are. Now I think the language is not the issue. So I think this is a very good time for the younger generation, new talents to come. And let's all, we all are sitting here. We have done something which is, I think is going to be something very unique. So now things are open now.
I want each one of you, if you had to write a love letter to a yesteryear actor or an era, what would that be, or who would that be?
We have spoken about it earlier. I mean, I said Devanand Saab because I think especially मैंने देवानंद साहब की और राज कपूर साहब की और इंद्र कुमार साहब की दादी से बहुत बातें सुनी हैं, बहुत ज़्यादा. मीन हाउ आई थिंक उस ज़माने में जितनी महिलाएं थी वो इतनी ज़्यादा इन ऑ ऑफ दीज एक्टर्स थी. एंड स्पेशली माई दादी यूज्ड टू सिंग इन ऑल, तो थोड़ा मतलब एक आई थिंक क्रिएटिव एंगल से थोड़ा और आपको एक प्यार हो जाता है. सो या आई मीन फॉर मी देवानंद साहब.
Dada?
I think for me, Bimal Roy.
Okay, wow.
Audrey Hepburn, I want to say, but since I'm Indian, I will say Madhubala ji.
Wow.
So many. I mean, Devanand,
So many.
as Apar said, Devanand, but also if I had a lot of love letter to somebody, I would probably Gurudutt. I think Pyasa is the greatest Indian film ever made.
Dilip Kumar Sahab from that time for sure, because I think in that era, in that poetic, honest era, he also brought in something which was very real. So it was like a great collaboration, alignment of some sort that brought a change.